1105 Heavy, Gimpo ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Pushback approved. Face south. Korean Air 1105 Heavy.
Hello Captain, we are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Request taxi to the active.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy, runway 14 left taxi via Romeo, Papa, Golf 2.
Knocking gear.
Runway 14 left taxi via Romeo, Papa, Golf 2, Korean Air 1105 Heavy.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel. Please set parking brakes. Rating 이용 confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Contact Gimpo Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1. Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Bye-bye.
Korean Air 235, request taxi.
Korean Air 235. Runway 14 left taxi via Romeo. Papa. Golf 2.
Runway 14 left taxi via Romeo. Papa, Golf 2, Korean Air 235. Contact Tower 118.1, Korean Air 235. Have a good day. Korean Air 235, holding short, runway 14 left.
Korean Air 235, runway 14 left. Line up and wait.
Runway 14 left, line up and wait, Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 235, Gimpo Tower, wind 140 at 9er, runway 14 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 14 left, cleared for takeoff, Korean Air 235. Korean Air 235. Have a good day. Incheon Control, Korean Air 235, to 13,700 feet for flight level 160.
Korean Air 235, Incheon Control, identified, climb to flight level 320.
Climb to flight level 320, Korean Air 235.
H1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
QNH1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left, air Peach 705.
QH282QNH1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
QNH1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left, QA282.
Asiana 157, Incheon Control, expect Delta 1 Alpha, runway 15 left.
Expect Delta 1 Alpha, runway 15 left, Asiana 157.
Korean Air 756, Incheon Control, expect Pullman 2 Charlie, runway 16 right. Expect Pullman 2 Charlie, runway 16 right, Korean Air 756. Air Peach 705, turn left, heading 295, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH1010, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 295, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH1010, Air Peach 705.
QA282, turn left, heading 300, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH1010, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 300, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH1010, QA282.
China Eastern 267, turn left, heading 275.
Turn left, heading 275, China Eastern 267.
heading 345, descend to 4,000 feet, QNH1010, Air Busan 163. Jeju Air 1704, contact table control 128.17. Center on 128.17, Jeju Air 1704, have a good day. Aero Hangan 512, Maytime 1, runway 24 right, report ready for descent. Maytime 1, runway 24 right, ready for descent, Aero Hangan 512. Descend to 7,000 feet, Aero Hangar 512. Aero Hangar 512, contact Blue 1 approach 129.65. Contact U1 approach 129.65, Aero Hangar 512. China Eastern 5042 Heavy, contact Sunchang Control 120.5, bye-bye.
Contact Sunchang Control 120.5, China Eastern 5042 Heavy.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy, Intl Control, expect total 15, runway 25. Expect total 15, runway 25, Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Jeju Air 1902, contact table control 128.17. Center on 128.17, Jeju Air 1902.
Intl Control, Jeju Air 143, leaving flight level 14541,000 feet direct Songtan.
Air Busan 163, descend to 3,000 feet. Descend to 3,000 feet, Air Busan 163. Air Busan 163, turn right, heading 040, descend to 2,000 feet. Turn right, heading 040, descend to 2,000 feet, Air Busan 163. Korean Air 1218, Incheon Control, expect Omen 2 uniform, runway 14 right. Expect Omen 2 uniform, runway 14 right, Korean Air 1218. Jeju Air 143, Incheon Control, identified. Air Seoul 713, contact table control 128.17. Center on 128.17, Air Seoul 713. China Eastern 891, cleared direct biting, cross biting at or above 3,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right.
Clear direct biting, cross biting at or above 3,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right, China Eastern 891.
Jeju Air 1101 QNH1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 flat. QNH1010, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left. Jeju Air 1101. EasterJet 882 QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 16 right with the biting transition.
QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 16 right with the biting transition, EasterJet 882.
Jin Air 303, contact table control 128.17, have a good day.
Contact table control 128.17, Jin Air 303.
2000 feet. QNH1008. Descend to 2000 feet. Korean Air 1105 heavy. Jeju Air 115. Descend to 10,000 feet. QNH1008.
Descend to 10,000 feet. QNH1008. Jeju Air 115.
Jeju Air 1307. QNH1010. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
QNH1010. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left. Jeju Air 1307.
China Eastern 267, Intl control. Expect rebit to hotel. Runway 16 right.
Expect rebit to hotel. Runway 16 right. China Eastern 267.
Korean Air 235, approaching our top of descent, ready for descent.
Korean Air 235, Total 1 Mike, runway 25. Descend to 12,000 feet. QNH1008.
Dotal 1 Mike, runway 25, descend to 12,000 feet. Korean Air 235.
Jeju Air 115, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. Jeju Air 115.
Jeju Air 1101, leave Posen heading 360. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
Leave Posep heading 360. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left. Jeju Air 1101.
Aero Hangak 607, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. Aero Hangak 607.
Korean Air 1711, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. Korean Air 1711.
Air Busan 8113, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. Air Busan 8113.
China Eastern 891, contact Incheon Tower 118.8.
Contact Tower 118.8. China Eastern 891. Bye-bye.
Air Busan 163, contact Incheon Tower 118.8. Over to Tower 118.8, Air Busan 163. Jeju Air 1307, leave Posen heading 360. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
Leave Posep heading 360. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 15 left. Jeju Air 1307.
Jeju Air 1101, fly present heading, descend to 4,000 feet, QNH1010, vectors for the approach.
Fly present heading. Descend to 4,000 feet. QNH 1010. Jeju Air 1101.
Jeju Air 1307, turn right, heading 345, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 345. Jeju Air 1307.
Korean Air 1218, Boeing 2 uniform, runway 14 right. Report ready for descent. Boeing 2 uniform, runway 14 right, ready for descent. Korean Air 1218. Korean Air 1218, descend to flight level 220. to flight level 220, Korean Air 1218. Jeju Air 1307, descend to 4,000 feet, QNH1010.
Descend to 4,000 feet, QNH1010, Jeju Air 1307.
Jeju Air 1101, descend to 3,000 feet.
Descend to 3,000 feet, Jeju Air 1101.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Air Busan 157, descend to flight level 100.
Descend to flight level 100, Air Busan 157.
Jeju Air 1101, turn right, heading 045, descend to 2,000 feet.
Turn right, heading 045, descend to 2,000 feet, Jeju Air 1101.
Asiana 157, descend to flight level 170.
Descend to flight level 170, Asiana 157.
QA 718, Incheon control, expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right.
Expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, QA 718.
Korean Air 756, descend to flight level 310. Descend to flight level 310, Korean Air 756. Asiana 8946 Heavy, Incheon control, expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right. Expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, Asiana 8946 Heavy. Jeju Air 1101, 3 miles from Puting, turn right, heading 115, maintain 1,600 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 15 left.
Turn right, heading 115, 1,600 feet until established. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 15 left, Jeju Air 1101.
Jeju Air 1307, turn right, heading 045, descend to 2,000 feet.
Turn right, heading 045, descend to 2,000 feet, Jeju Air 1307.
China Eastern 267, climb to flight level 140, vectors for Incheon Airport.
Climb to flight level 140, China Eastern 267.
Air Busan 8044, Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right. Report ready for descent. Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, ready for descent. Air Busan 8044. Air Busan 8044, descend to flight level 150. Descend to flight level 150, Air Busan 8044. China Eastern 267, leave at 2 hotel, runway 16 right. Report ready for descent.
Rebit 2 Hotel, runway 16 right, ready for descent, China Eastern 267.
China Eastern 267, descend to 9,000 feet, QNH1010.
Descend to 9,000 feet, China Eastern 267.
Korean Air 756, descend to flight level 240. Descend to flight level 240, Korean Air 756. China Eastern 267 QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 16 right with the Munich transition.
QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 16 right with the Munich transition, China Eastern 267.
Jeju Air 1101, contact Incheon Tower 118.5.
over to Tower 118.8. Jeju Air 1101. Bye-bye.
Air China 140. Contact Nanchang Control 120.5. Contact Nanchang Control 120.5. Air China 140. QA 718, Roman 2 uniform. Runway 14 right. Report ready for descent.
Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, ready for descent, QA 718.
QA 718, descend to flight level 220.
Descend to flight level 220, QA 718.
Jeju Air 1307, contact Incheon Tower 118.8. Have a good day.
Contact Tower 118.8. Jeju Air 1307.
Incheon Control, EVA 155, passing flight level 218 for flight level 170. EVA 155, Incheon Control, Asiana 89, Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, ready for descent. Asiana 894, Asiana 8946 heavy, descend to flight level 220. Asiana 8946 heavy. QA 293, you are assigned flight level 310. I show you at flight level 299. Climb to flight level 310. Roger. Climb to flight level 310, QA 293. Air pitch 705, descend to 4,000 feet. Descend to 4,000 feet, air pitch 705.
Incheon Control, G Air 511, out of flight level 2884, flight level 150.
Air 511, Incheon Control, identified, climb to flight level 300.
Climb to flight level 300, G Air 511.
Air 511, Incheon Control, expect total 1 mic, runway 25.
Expect total 1 mic, runway 25, G Air 511.
QA 873, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. QA 873.
Jin Air 511, total 1 mic, runway 25. Report ready for descent.
Total 1 mic, runway 25, ready for descent, G Air 511.
Jin Air 511, descend to 2,000 feet, QNH 1008.
Descend to 2,000 feet, G Air 511.
Jeju Air 143, Incheon Control, expect total 1 mic, runway 25.
Expect total 1 mic, runway 25, Jeju Air 143.
QNH1008. Descend to 10,000 feet, QNH1008, Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Korean Air 235, descend to 10,000 feet, QNH1008.
Descend to 10,000 feet, QNH1008, Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy, contact Jeju approach 121.2. Contact Jeju approach 121.2, Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Jeju Air 143, total 1 mic, runway 25. Report ready for descent.
Total 1 mic, runway 25, ready for descent. Jeju Air 143.
Jeju Air 143, descend to 12,000 feet, QNH1008.
Descend to 12,000 feet. Jeju Air 143.
All Nippon 8501 Heavy, contact Takeoff Control 128.17.
Center on 128.17, all Nippon 8501 Heavy.
China Eastern 207 Heavy, contact Fukuoka Control 118.9.
Contact Fukuoka, control 118.9. China Eastern 207 Heavy. Jeju Air 118, flight level 270.
Jeju Air 118, Incheon control, radar contact. Jeju Air 118, Incheon control, expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right.
Expect Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, Jeju Air 118. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck this is your captain speaking. We reached our cruising altitude of 32,000 feet and we're looking at a smooth flight route. Wrong button.
Bravo. It's almost like we're right there in the plane with you.
Let's keep this one between us.
You got it. Just you, me, and the rest of this frequency. Incheon control, Jin Air 512, through 11,000 feet for 14,000 feet direct PC 833. Jin Air 512, Incheon control, radar contact, climb to flight level 290. Climb to flight level 290, Jin Air 512. Incheon control, Korean Air 1596. Through flight level 150 for flight level 180 direct path. Korean Air 1596, Incheon control, good day, radar contact, climb to flight level 360. Climb to flight level 360, Korean Air 1596. Korean Air 235, roger, stay fixed.
Request direct to Gimpo, Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 235, I need you following your flight plan right now. Unable direct Gimpo at this time. Jeju Air 118, Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right. Report ready for descent.
Oman 2 uniform, runway 14 right, ready for descent, Jeju Air 118.
Jeju Air 118, descend to flight level 220.
Descend to flight level 220, Jeju Air 118. flight level 360.
Asiana 171 Heavy, Incheon control, identified. Korean Air 235, contact Jeju approach 121.2.
Contact Jeju approach 121.2. Korean Air 235. Jeju approach, Korean Air 235. Good day, 10,100 feet, Lima.
Korean Air 235 Jeju approach, good day. QNH1008, expect the ILS Zulu runway 25 with a Duco transition.
QNH1008, expect the ILS Zulu runway 25 with the Duco transition. Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 235, descend to 4,000 feet.
Descend to 4,000 feet. Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 235, clear direct Duco. Cross Duco at or above 4,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 25.
Cleared direct Duco. Cross Duco at or above 4,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 25. Korean Air 235.
to Tower 118.2, Korean Air 1105 Heavy, bye-bye.
Jeju approach, Jeju Air 143, this day, 9,900 feet with the number.
Jeju Air 143 Jeju approach, QNH1008 expect the ILS Zulu runway 25 with the Duco transition.
QNH1008 expect the ILS Zulu runway 25 with the Duco transition, Jeju Air 143.
Korean Air 235, contact Jeju Tower 118.2.
Over to Tower 118.2, Korean Air 235.
Aero Hangar 607, monitor ground 121.675.
Ground 121.675, Aero Hangar 607.
Jeju Tower, Korean Air 235, ILS Zulu runway 25.
Korean Air 235, Jeju Tower, continue.
Roger, Korean Air 235.
2500.
AsianAirport 8952 Heavy, runway 25, line up and wait.
Runway 25, line up and wait. AsianAirport 8952 Heavy.
Korean Air 1105 Heavy, exit left at Pop 8. Exit left at Pop 8, Korean Air 1105 Heavy. Korean Air 1105 Heavy, monitor ground 121.675. Ground 121.675, Korean Air 1105 Heavy. AsianAirport 8952 Heavy, Jeju Tower, wind 075 at 5, runway 25, cleared for takeoff, traffic 4 mile final, no delay.
Runway 25, cleared for takeoff.
1000.
AsianAirport 8952 Heavy.
075 at 5. Runway 25 clear to land.
400.
Runway 25 cleared to land.
300.
Korean Air 235.
200.
Asiana 8952 Heavy. Contact Jeju departure 119.225.
Contact Jeju departure 119.225. Asiana
50, 40, 30, 20, 10. We're down. That was close.
Korean Air 235. Exit left at Pop 8.
Exit left at Papa 8. Korean Air 235.
Korean Air 235. Contact ground 121.675.
Ground 121.675. Korean Air 235. Korean Air 235. Request taxi to allocated gate.
Korean Air 235. Ramp 31 taxi via Papa.
Ramp 31 via Papa. Korean Air 235.
All aircraft be advised information like now current. QNH1008. EasterJet 214. Ready to taxi to the active. EasterJet 214. Runway 25 taxi via Echo Tree. Echo 1. Alpha. Papa. Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. Runway 25 taxi via Echo Tree. Echo 1. Alpha. Papa. Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. EasterJet 214. EasterJet 214. Cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1. Alpha. Papa. Papa 1. Cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1. Alpha. Papa. Papa 1. EasterJet 214. EasterJet 214. Contact Jeju Tower 118.2. Contact Tower 118.2. EasterJet 214.
T-Way 906, Ram 5 tree, request pushback and engine start.
T-Way 906, Jeju ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback approved, face southeast, T-Way 906.
The boarding requested. Passengers bus is coming.
T-Way 906, ready to taxi to the active.
T-Way 906, runway 25 taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13.
Runway 25 taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13, T-Way 906.
T-Way 906, cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1,
Passengers
Alpha,
boarding sign.
Papa 1.
Cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1, T-Way 906.
T-Way 906, contact Jeju Tower 118.2.
Over to Tower 118.2, T-Way 906.
Air Busan 8042, at ramp 62, request pushback. Air Busan 8042, Jeju ground, pushback approved. Face southeast. Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. Air Busan 8042. 8042, ready to taxi to the active. Airbus on 8042, runway 25
Passengers
taxi
bus is
via
coming.
Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. Runway 25 taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13, Airbus on 8042. Korean Air 1711, ramp 34 taxi via Papa 11, Papa, Golf 4, Echo 1.
Ramp 34 via Papa 11, Papa, Golf 4, Echo 1, Korean Air 1711.
EasterJet 216, ramp 86, request pushback. Continue taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Cross runway 13, Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Airbus on 8042. EasterJet 216, Jeju ground, pushback approved. Face northeast. Pushback approved. Face northeast, EasterJet 216. Airbus on 8042, contact Jeju Tower 118.2. Contact Tower 118.2, Airbus on 8042. Device information November now current. QNH1007. EasterJet 216, taxi for departure. EasterJet 216, runway 25 taxi via Echo Tree, Echo 1, Alpha, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. 216. Cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1. Alpha, Papa, Papa 1. Cross runway 13 at Echo 1. Continue taxi via Echo 1. Alpha, Papa, Papa 1. EasterJet 216. EasterJet 216. Contact Jeju Tower 118.2. Contact Tower 118.2. EasterJet 216.
Your crew has deboarded.
Jeju Air 143. Ramp 86 taxi via Pop 8. Papa, Golf 1. Echo Tree.
Ramp 86 via Papa 8, Papa, Golf 1, Echo Tree, Jeju Air 143.
Spring 8862, gate 18 Alpha. Request pushback and engine start. Jeju ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face on. Pushback approved. Face north. Spring 8862. Spring 8862. Request taxi. Spring 8862. Runway 25 taxi via Echo 1. Alpha, Papa, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. Runway 25 taxi via Echo 1. Alpha, Papa, Papa 1. Hold short runway 13. Spring 8862.